Hello friends, welcome back to another What's for Dinner video where I share what I cooked for my family of 6 this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and get some dinner ideas. On Sunday, we had steak kebabs and I started with marinating the meat the night before. We decided to try 2 different marinades. Both were new to us and we've never tried them before. Both recipes will be listed down below for you. The first marinade recipe was a red wine-based recipe and the second one was a white wine-based recipes. Out of the 2, I personally prefer the white one, even though it was recommended for chicken and pork. We used it on steak and I thought it made it very tender compared to the red one, but both were very flavorful. So I marinated the meat. I split it up in between 2 just to give it a try, and I stuck it into the fridge overnight. The next day, I threaded the meat onto the large skewers and my husband took charge of grilling. While he managed the coals and grilled the kebabs, I made the sides. I made mashed potatoes, corn on the cob, and a cucumber and tomato salad with these beautiful heirloom tomatoes that we got from a friend from her garden. We really like to top our steak kebabs with some vinegar onions. It's just some sliced onions, vinegar, water, and cayenne pepper. Just stir it together and it's good to go. So for the salad, I decided to dress it with half mayo and half sour cream, some salt and pepper. It's very simple and it's very creamy and delicious. I make my mashed potatoes in my stand mixer. To the bottom of my bowl, I cube up 1 stick of butter, add my potatoes on top, half a cup of hot milk, pepper and garlic salt, and whip them. Then I scrape the bowl and slowly add the rest of the milk. So this was our Sunday night dinner, a real treat for us to start off our week. We are enjoying the last few sunny days before the rain comes in to stay for a while. On Monday, we had fried chicken tenders, and if you have watched our dinner videos before, you know that this is a staple in our house. I marinate these the night before, and the buttermilk is the trick. These are incredibly flavorful with minimal effort. I make these tenders so often because the kids eat them so well. Even my most picky toddler will eat her chicken. Plus, we homeschool, so I love to make a larger batch, and having leftovers for lunch for the next few days is very helpful during our really busy days. So after these stood in the fridge overnight, or at least a couple hours, I make the flour topping. Into a bowl, I just add flour, salt, pepper, paprika, and buttermilk. Stir it together and just start dreading the chicken. I fry these in some light tasting olive oil on low to medium heat until they are golden on both sides. While the chicken is frying, I'm going to start on my pasta. I'm using this vegetable radiatore pasta. So while the pasta water is coming to a boil, I'm just chopping up some vegetables. I like to use bell peppers, onions, and mushrooms. I cook my pasta according to the package directions and then draining it into my colander and tossing some oil over it so it doesn't stick, because I need this to stay here while I prepare the vegetables. Into the same pot, I just add some olive oil and my sliced vegetables. I'm going to season the veggies with some salt, pepper, paprika, and some chili onion crunch from Trader Joe's. I'm going to fry these veggies until they are caramelized and then add some fresh garlic to it. Afterwards, the pasta goes back into the pot. I just toss everything together with the vegetable base, and this makes for a very flavorful and easy side pasta dish. The last of the chicken tenders are frying. The pasta is finished. Next, I'm going to work on the veggie side. I decided to make another cucumber and tomato salad with a sour cream and mayo dressing. So this is what dinner looked like, always delicious, and we always have enough tenders for lunch for at least 2 days. On Tuesday, we had a savory meat and potatoes pie with a split pea soup. I'm starting off by making the crust for the pie. I'm just mixing it up and I'm going to let the dough rest while I work on the filling for the pie. For the filling, I'm just using ground beef, some golden potatoes, and an onion. The original recipe calls for a lot more different kinds of vegetables, which my kids do not like, so I just keep it simple with potatoes, onions, and beef. Into my stand mixer, I'm just shredding both of the potatoes and the onion, adding my 1 pound of beef, some salt, pepper, stir it together, and that's it. I'm going to preheat my oven and set this aside while I work on my split pea soup because I need to get this cooking so everything is ready at the same time. I'm just dicing up some carrots, celery, and onions. That's the base of my soup. Into a large pot, I melted some butter, added some oil, and I'm going to stir fry the veggies. While the veggies are cooking, I'm going to be working on my pie crust and assembling my meat and potato pie. I split the dough in half for the top and the bottom of the pie. Just roll it as flat as I can, and I am constantly checking the vegetables to make sure they're not burning in the pot, just stirring them often, and once they are cooked through, I'm going to go ahead and add my fresh crushed garlic, stir it together for about 30 seconds, and then I'm going to add some tomato sauce. I'm adding just about half a can of tomato sauce, stirring this together into the veggies, and then I'm adding 1 container of chicken broth, but you can also use vegetable broth if you prefer. I like to season my split pea soup with some salt, pepper, basil, and oregano. Next, I'm adding my 2 cubed golden potatoes and 1 cup of uncooked split peas. I'm going to bring this to a boil and simmer until the potatoes and split peas are done. Now back to the pie. I laid the bottom crust onto a cookie sheet and dumped all the filling in the center of it, and now I'm just rolling the top part of the pie just as flat as I can. I'm going to lay this over the bottom portion and just pinch the sides together. I then pierce the top of the pie with a fork, and then I make an egg wash and brush the top of the crust with an egg wash to make sure it comes out a nice golden color. Check in on my soup, just tasting the broth to make sure it has enough flavor. The potatoes and the peas are done, which means the soup is done. So this is what dinner looked like. I had 2 slices of the beef pie with a bowl of split pea soup. On Wednesday, we had butter chicken, and this has been something I wanted to try for a couple of months. I actually printed the recipe a while ago, but I was always hesitant because it uses a lot of different spices and I wasn't sure if my kids would like it. But I followed the recipe exactly and it turned out amazing. So if you have never tried butter chicken, I highly recommend it. It does not have too much spices. It has the perfect amount. I would say it's a little bit salty, so maybe next time I will add just a tiny bit less of salt. Into a bowl, I just added the cubed chicken, some yogurt, all of the spices, and ginger. I just stir it together, and I'm going to let this marinate for a couple of hours. Next, I'm just cubing up 1 onion, and into a pot, I just added some butter, the cubed up onion, and the chicken, and I'm going to stir fry everything until the chicken is cooked through. While the chicken is cooking, I am cooking 2 cups of white rice. We had some of these mini naan breads that I got at Costco. I decided just to butter them, add some garlic salt, and stick them into the air fryer. I thought that would be a nice little side that the kids would appreciate with this dinner. Meanwhile, while the chicken is cooking, I have the garlic, ginger, cream, and tomato sauce ready. Once the chicken is cooked through, I just add the ginger and garlic. Then I'm going to add the cream and the tomato sauce and bring it to a simmer. Now, doesn't this look absolutely delicious? Everything is finished, so I'm just microwaving some broccoli, and then I just toss it with some butter, salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and dinner is ready. And lastly, on Thursday, we had spaghetti and meatballs. I'm starting out with making my meatballs. Into my stand mixer bowl, I just add 1 shredded onion, 1 pound of ground beef, 2 eggs, grated Parmesan, cheese, garlic, breadcrumbs, and Italian seasoning. I'm going to stir everything to combine using my paddle attachment. I make sure my hands are damp as I roll out the meatballs to prevent them from sticking to my hands. And I'm just laying the meatballs onto a parchment lined sheet, and I'm going to bake them until they are cooked through. Then I just add 1 jar of marinara sauce into a pot and my cooked meatballs go into the sauce. I'm going to bring this to a simmer. While that is coming to a simmer, I am going to go ahead and cook my package of spaghetti noodles. And that's it. A very simple and easy dinner that the kids loved. I served this with cucumbers for my picky kiddos and Caesar salad for the rest of the family. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got some dinner ideas. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.